by nature, I'm pretty sarcastic. We just compile different things that would annoy you, you know, and then we hit the street with like 40 of them, and I think after the second or third one, it was just all ad-lib. It was just literally me walking and then things happening. Material wealth means nothing to me. I never got into filmmaking or anything like that to be famous or to get rich. Like, your life's normal and then it's completely different.
This is Breaking Glass.
This day and age, you want people to notice you, you have to be controversial, sensational, viral. And that's just exactly what our guest today did. He's part of a group that skillfully created buzz by creating a video that went viral. The video is called 20 Reasons I Dislike the Philippines, a polarizing piece of work that did just that and got Jimmy Sieczka his 15 minutes of infamy, plus a declaration of persona non grata from the city of Cebu. Jimmy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jimmy,
yes.
Are you still welcome in Cebu? I mean, persona non grata is you're supposed to be unwelcome.
Yeah.
Can you still go to Cebu?
Yeah, I guess the translation is person is not welcome, I think, right?
Uh-huh.
I haven't been back to Cebu, but yeah, it's fine if I go back there.
You think so? They're not going to throw you back on the plane?
No. I spoke to the counselor on the phone, and yeah.
You're fine.
He was upset, but yeah, I think it's water under the bridge.
So how was that? How was that whole episode when they, you know, put that on you, being persona non grata? How did you?
Well, a number of things kind of race through your mind. I'm very happy here in the Philippines. Otherwise, I would have left when I got here, you know, if I wasn't happy. So when I heard there was a chance that I might be deported, a lot of things raced through my mind, like, where am I going to go? Because I don't want to go back to America.
So you'd rather be here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? What did you?
The lifestyle, the people, everything. It's just it's a big combination of everything. You know, living in America, it seems like people just have so many agendas, and you know, people are always in a hurry to be places. And I kind of like this island-like lifestyle where you just kind of move at your own pace. And again, the people are friendly, and you know.
And yet, it's funny that a lot of people actually want to leave the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you want to tell them?
Well, every time I talk to Filipino friends and they're like, "Oh, I want to go to America," I say, you know, go visit, but seriously, it's not what it's all cracked up to be. I mean, you guys are in heaven here. You got 7,107 islands. You know, you got great weather. I don't know why you'd want to leave, you know.
So you've been here 4 years in May, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. This past May was 4 years. Yeah.
And what does the real Jimmy Sieczka think of the Philippines?
It's a lovely place. Again, the people here are amazing. You know,
when you say amazing, I mean what makes you say that?
For example, you know, growing up in America, you know, in big urban cities, people always are in a hurry. People have an agenda. You know, you say hello to them, they think you're a weirdo, you know. Whereas, you know, in Cebu, Manila, people are always asking, you know, good afternoon, sir. Good you know, good evening. And, you know, where are you going? What are you up to? You know, Tagay, let's have a drink, you know. People are not like that in Western cultures. They're just not friendly like that. And if you attempt to be that friendly, they just think you're very strange. You know, I'll give you an example. I was living in London last summer, and I was walking down the street, and a lady was serving gelato on the street, like little ice cream thing, right? And all of her cups fell off the stand into the sidewalk. So I was walking. Naturally, what would one do? You'd help her pick the cups. No, don't help me. Don't do that. And I was like, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want free ice cream. I just want to help you pick the cups up because it's windy and they're blowing everywhere.
What, you think she thinks that you were trying to help because she wanted something in return?
I don't know,
is that it?
but she told me, don't help me. And I was just like, that is so strange, you know. And I immediately.
Why did you try to help her? Because it is something you already picked up here, being nice.
Yeah,
and
I think that I picked that up from living in the Philippines for so long. It's just being friendly and cordial. You know what I mean? So when she immediately told me, you know, don't help me, I immediately was like, I need to go back to the Philippines. Like I need, you know. And again, when I was in London, I seen a lot of Filipinos as well. So I would say, you know, something in Visayan or what few words I might know in Tagalog, like good afternoon or whatever. and they were just amazed, or I'd have my Philippine jacket on, and they'd be like, whoa,
But you know what's amazing listening to your story? I mean, we have a lot of Filipinos, I don't know, who are not so proud of ourselves, right? I mean, of who we are. I mean, I like we talked about earlier, people wanting to leave the country.
Mm-hmm. I think because I think that has a lot to do with the media and television. I think people, the grass is always greener on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Filipinos see that, people are gaining, wealth in other countries, or maybe their relatives that are doing quite well
Correct,
there.
yes. They have their 4.5 bedroom home, 2.5
Right.
cars,
I don't need any of that. I'll probably never own a house, and I probably will never own a car. I like motorcycles, so I had a motorcycle for 3 years while I was here. I sold it, but material wealth means nothing to me. I never got into filmmaking or anything like that to be famous or to get rich. I mean, if that's the case, I would just move back to Los Angeles, because I was making some pretty solid money there, working on some pretty big network shows.
I think you did reality shows,
Yeah,
sound on reality shows.
I did The Bachelor, Fear Factor. I did a reality show called Wrecked, which was for the Speed Network, which we basically followed around different massive accidents on the highway. So it's a very dangerous job, on the expressway, cars flipped over, and documenting that.
And yet there was a point when you were there that hit you, that you said, look, I want out of this.
I mean, that's what led me to search Craigslist and to search anywhere and everywhere, because I just needed something new. When I turned 21, I was like, I need to get out of Chicago. It's too cold, don't like the weather, so I moved straight to LA.
What do you think you're really looking for, Jimmy? I mean, that just hit me now. I mean, what?
People have asked me that before. I don't know what I'm looking for. As long as I'm happy, then in the now, that's all that's important. I don't think about 10 years from now, because, I'm not to sound, negative, and maybe I might not be around, you know what I mean? So just
Live
day by day, day by day. And as long as I'm happy now, then if I make it to tomorrow, then it'll be good.
And
Then,
you're absolutely happy here.
yeah, 100%.
And speaking of the people, I had mentioned earlier that it was a polarizing video because there were the haters, of course, and yet you had a lot of people who defended what you did with the video.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody from GetRealPhilippines.com wrote, predictable as ever, hypersensitive Filipinos showed their penchant for shooting the messenger and ignoring the message. The piece continues, seriously people, it's satire, it's sarcasm. It is a satiric piece, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm by nature, I'm pretty sarcastic, and as well as Americans in general, they're pretty sarcastic. If you look at any of the comedies and stuff that are out, we have a tendency not to take ourselves too seriously, at least me. So I mean, he does have a point, but again, none of this I'd planned for or thought of, so it's all just
the reaction, I think a lot of the reaction, the strong reaction that came from the video was of the manner the video was made. It's quite coarse, it's vulgar, in fact. The group behind it is called Channel Fix. And what was the idea? Was it planned, calculated, that let's come up with something that's so strong that it will create buzz? Was that something that the group came up with?
Well, to map out exactly how it all went down, I was living in London and for the summer of 2011, and I found out they did 20 Reasons I Love. So when I came back in August of 2011, I was approached by the producer of 20 Reasons I Love, Michael Goodman. And because I had lived here so long, and because I've kind of knew the ins and outs of, just how the Philippines work, specifically Cebu, it was kind of a natural thing for me to host it, because A, I'm an actor, and B, I'm familiar with the area, It'd be one thing if I didn't know anything about the Philippines at all and I'd never been here before, and then went and said all that. That would make no sense. So that was, in terms of a group think, what we did is we just compiled from everybody in the office, Filipinos, foreigners, we just compiled different things that would annoy you, and then we hit the street with 40 of them, and I think after the second or third one, it was just all ad-lib. It was just literally me walking and then things happening. We went off script almost immediately.
It was you being an actor taking over, right?
Yeah.
And how did Channel Fix handle the backlash what that came from this thing?
I mean, we have lawyers and stuff like that, so.
So the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was
were-
in contact with some lawyers, and they were kind of telling me because I mean, obviously, like your life's normal, and then it's completely different. So I needed some sort of guidance. So there was a little bit, yeah, but for the most part, I made the decisions that I made to do certain things with GMA or ABS-CBN or TV5. So those were kind of all my choices. I would.
coming on those programs.
Yeah,
so what
yeah,
you're
with
saying,
Tita
you
Winnie
decided-
and- So those
Okay.
were my decisions, and I checked with like the heads of Channel Fix, and they were like, it's your decision, do it, which was cool. But you kind of want a little bit of guidance, so it worked out.
I'm curious. Did you have to get a PR firm to help you?
No,
you didn't
I
have to
just
do
I
it.
deal.
It
I
was
dealt
just
with
you.
it. Yeah, and then I have some really good friends. So some friends said, do this, don't do that. Keep your nose clean, wear a disguise.
Speaking of which, I mean, you had mentioned. I mean, we've talked before that people still recognize you.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet, so far nobody has gone negative on you.
No, I mean, daily someone recognizes me. Yeah. So, and every time it's always like, I like it. I like the piece, which is a bit. It's always uncomfortable for me because I never asked for any of this.
What is the reaction of the people who come up to you?
Always
What
positive.
What are they saying?
I love the video. I love you. Or it's quite weird. Can I have a picture? Yeah.
I see.
And there's a number of different things.
Now, Channel Fix. Let's talk about Channel
Yeah.
Fix. It basically is think YouTube, but this time Channel Fix will help you put the video together,
Yeah.
give you equipment,
Yeah.
give you the people, and then when it is shown, help you earn money by having commercials. Am I correct? Did I get that
for the
right?
most part.
Yeah.
If you want to take it a step further, you can think of Channel Fix being two things. One, the induction of or their introduction to television. So Channel Fix, the first time TV came out, what happened? There was probably a channel or two, and then other corporations built up content and then created the channel.
Okay.
So Channel Fix, when someone puts a pilot onto our website, based on the commercial feedback, hits, and all of that, it then gets developed into a
Into a
channel or a series on Channel Fix. So if you look at it that way, and then you also look at a studio. What does a studio do? A studio funds different productions. So we're kind of playing
So
with
you're
both
into
those
that.
entities. A studio and then also an online television thing. So everything's long form. It's not like cat playing with a ball of yarn
No.
for 30 seconds that
No.
you'd see on YouTube.
And give us a background, please, on Channel Fix. It started by a group of.
Well, I mean, there's a couple different financiers, I guess. The main guy was Graham Sivanar, and Graham came up with this idea a few years ago where he kind of seen a natural swing and tendency of stuff being screened online. And he just devised this plan probably about 3 years ago, thinking, well, if everything's moving to the internet, why not create a site which actually supports independent filmmakers and get anything that they want made, and then host that, create that
That's
platform.
idea. Now, Graham is an American.
He's
Am
from
I correct?
Boston.
He's
yeah.
from Boston, and
Yeah.
and why the Philippines? I mean, Channel Fix is based in the Philippines. Am I correct?
Well, no, I mean, we have an entity here. We have one. It's based in America. We just, do a lot of our production here and whatnot. That would be something you'd have to ask him. I really don't know why he ended up here, to be honest.
But I know you ended up here because you were working in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and you decided to answer a Craigslist ad
Yeah.
on a sound teacher, sound
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
engineer teacher. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Here
I was.
in-
I was basically. I just got back home from Mexico doing a shoot, and I had applied to a post on Craigslist. Actually, ironically enough, I found it under Vegas, and it just said, sound engineer to teach sound in the Philippines, and I was like, that sounds amazing, Applied, and long story short, my roommate at the time, his girlfriend. She was best friends with the CEO, so that probably helped me get a job,
Okay.
and I was teaching.
and teaching at Bigfoot. Am I correct? In Cebu.
It was the International Academy of Film and Television,
international.
which is an entity, sister company of Bigfoot.
I
Yeah.
see.